Good evening from the Thorpe Park Resort, where tonight we're here to come and experience their new edition for 2023. It is, of course, Ghost Train. This is a reimagining of Derren Brown's Ghost Train that originally opened here at the resort back in 2016.
And then in 2017 it reopened as Rise of the Demon.
Yes, and straight away that winter they made some changes to the experience, and yeah, it came back the year later with some additional changes to it. It's worth pointing out that over the years, Derren Brown's Ghost Train had a very mixed reception by people. Some people really liked it, others not so much. I was kind of on the fence. I mean, when it opened in 2016, we've not really seen anything quite like it. A VR attraction combining live actors, physical props and special effects. It really was very impressive, wasn't it?
I was never a huge fan, only because the VR scared me so much. I just couldn't watch it, but the actual experience was really impressive to see.
It was like you had the kind of tube train coming around the corner towards you. There was loads of effects. Of course, the fake shop at the end, which is one of my favourites that got added in, with the demon itself. So many changes were made to that ride, but unfortunately it did suffer from a lot of unreliability. Firstly, the ride system itself being quite complex with the train and all moving around, 3 ride vehicles in there, and yeah, it had a lot of issues with the actual ride system. And then of course the VR headsets, which did become quite a nightmare for that attraction, didn't they?
It was one of them where you'd go on, you'd not have audio, like your visuals wouldn't be working. There was always something going on in there.
You look back at our vlogs from like 16, 17 and the first couple of years of that attraction, and even throughout its lifetime as Derren Brown's Ghost Train, and there was a lot of issues with the VR. Sometimes, I think my record was like 4 headsets I had to put on before I found one that worked, and it was adjusting, it was the faff, because obviously you put the headsets on, you get off for a live action scene, then put them on again. It was a big faff and it caused a lot of issues. So I'm really pleased that with Ghost Train, they've completely scrapped off the use of virtual reality, and it's now all going to be physical actors and effects and props, which I'm looking forward to.
It's got a huge amount of potential, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what they've done in there.
I'm very pleased they've done this. I've been saying for a good few years now they should just get rid of the VR on there, completely reimagine it, and that is what they've done. So I'm really excited to see what it's going to be like. We're going to head over there shortly, and just want to say thank you to Thorpe Park for inviting us down tonight for the media launch of this attraction and exactly what this is going to be like. I don't think we're going to be able to film the experience, but we'll film a detailed review, so there will be spoilers coming up from this point. Should we go make our way over there?
Let's go!
It's time for the new Ghost Train here at Thorpe Park Resort. Here we go then, so we've got the board out just here with the Ghost Train logo, the blue carpet's out too, and here's Charlotte. Hey, what have you got then there?
So I've got some posters here with information, and we've got our bands as well.
Oh, we've got some food, have we, tonight?
Yeah, we have. Donut time.
Oh, looking forward to some donuts. Of course, experiencing the ride. Well, here we go. Got this nice backdrop out as well, the photo ops, which is brilliant. So we've made our way down here to the outside of Ghost Train, and we've just been asked by a couple of roaming entertainers, are we going to be on the last train? What do you think, Charlotte?
Yeah, I think so.
She gave me this just here. Here we go. Quite
What
interesting.
is it?
It says Believe just on there.
Chapel at the bottom.
It does. Chapel, Believe, all part of the backstory of this attraction. But yeah, really interesting. So we've got some lovely live music in the background down here at the entrance. Welcome to Thorpe Junction. I do really like what they've done with the signage down here. And of course the main sign above the entrance there too. Of course, opening from the 26th of May, which is today when we're uploading the video. And yeah, here's a look at the restrictions boards. Yeah, you can see just here all the different restrictions for this ride. Bear in mind it is now a 1.3 height restriction. Ages 13 plus recommended for this one as well, and of course there will be strobe lighting used in the attraction, but you can see all of the different restrictions all the way down here. But yeah, this experience features strobe lighting, dark and confined spaces, live scare actors and special effects, including loud sudden noises. And with the removal of VR, I'm really hoping we've seen some brand new special effects in there. You can also see a look at the accessibility section down there as well. Fantastic. Yeah, it looks like we're going to be having a grand opening. We've got the ribbon across just here, the rope, microphone set up, and the little desk here too. So yeah, it's nice how they're making more of a thing and doing these grand openings. And of course there's now new announcements out the front just here too. Here's Charlotte.
Got a donut.
Oh my god, look at that.
Oh, that looks lovely, doesn't it?
Donut time! Oh, I remember when you had a donut time in central London. They've got a few now at Thorpe Park. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's like a fab lolly. That's oh, there you go. Oh, that's cool, isn't it? It's literally a fab.
That's what it's called.
Oh, how cool is that? Fantastic. Well, yeah, we'll let Charlotte enjoy that. And yeah, we'll have the opening ceremony for Ghost Train coming up shortly here at Thorpe Park.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Just obviously to introduce myself to those that don't know me, my name's Neil Poulter, the Divisional Director here at Thorpe Park, and I've got Kieran Smith here, the writer and the director of the new Ghost Train here at Thorpe Park. So firstly, thank you for all coming along to tonight's event, and we're thrilled to have you all here at Thorpe Park for our exclusive preview event. You'll be the very first guest to experience this season's most exciting new edition, Ghost Train. The next generation of Ghost Train has been a long time in the making, and we're delighted to finally be able to open the gates to the station and get the first batch of unsuspecting guests, and that'll be you, on board.
Now, there are rumours that our Ghost Train was created in the fiery pits of hell. And I'm here to tell you that that rumour is true. Our Ghost Train was indeed dragged kicking and screaming into the world by a small army of demons. Demons who walk amongst us. Demons who portray themselves as creatives, directors, designers, programmers, themers, technicians, painters, operators, and the most dangerous of all demons, actors. These demons have worked tirelessly to create something horrific, yet strangely beautiful. The hammers of hell have pounded day and night to create a world-class attraction. A world-class experience that combines a gripping story, actors, special effects, and of course, a train. Making it one of the longest ride experiences, in the UK. So to all those demons who created our Ghost Train, we say thank you. Thank you very much. And don't worry, sleep will come.
Thank you, Kieran. We're sure you're all dying to see what lies beneath the realms of Thorpe Park. Enjoy your evening here with us. We can't wait to hear what you think. In addition to this and the rides that are available today, I'm pleased to say that Colossus is also available for you today, which I'm sure is a welcome treat. But enjoy your evening. Over to you, Kieran.
Now the time has come for one question for you. Would you like to leave or take the last train?
Take the last train!
You sure?
Yeah!
You want to take the last train?
Yeah!
Then, it is their choice, Mr. Poulter. It's time for our guests to take the last train.
So without further ado, let's get this train on the track. Ghost Train at Thorpe Park is officially open.
Woo! Absolutely love the fact that Merlin are now doing these more grand openings. Fantastic that was. Lots of build-up.
Mobile phones and smart watches are not permitted.
Lots more details to look at on the exterior here, as you can see. Thorpe Rail. Your ticket to Pleasure Island, does that say over there? I think it does. All the train time just over here, and I love what they've done with this because you've got lots of the areas in the park and existing areas like Thorpe Farm, Inferno Central there, Calypso Quay, Old Town, little throwbacks. But as we can see, Chapel Station is closed up there at the top. Really interesting for this line. Customer information there. Thorpe Rail operates a strict no contact policy with staff, no touching in the attraction. Here, there and everywhere. Thorpe Rail, getting you from A to B in comfort. I do like all these signs, it really builds up the anticipation. Like I said, I don't think we're going to be able to film inside, which is a shame. However, it would kind of take away from the experience if you're doing it for the first time. But of course, we'll be sharing our full review when we come out.
This is a Ghost Train announcement. We thank you for your cooperation.
Okay then, so we've experienced Ghost Train 3 times this evening here at Thorpe Park. Before we do these reviews, we always like to not just have one go, but when we can, have a few rides round to really get a feel for the experience and of course talk about it with you all. It's also quite hard when you can't film anything on the attraction and to always visualise it and remember what's going on in there.
When you have so many rides, you can sort of think and then you get a better review that way.
Definitely. Let's start off then by the exterior. In terms of the queue line, there's some really nice announcements playing and some ambient audio. And my favourite part of the queue line has to be the throwbacks to other attractions at Thorpe Park. There's little throwbacks to Loggers Leap in there.
Oh, that's really nice. nice.
Along with that, you can see little sections related to Nemesis Inferno in the queue line, all these different posters, all kind of rusted up and weathered there as well, which I think was great. And yeah, that complements the exterior nicely. Of course, you've got the mix between the old school Victorian style station building of Thorpe Junction and the newer bits there. Initially, I was unsure on how that was going to look with the brighter colours and then also the darker old-fashioned look. However, I think it does actually work quite well now, seeing it all completed.
I think it would have been quite hard to really change the exterior to a massive extent, but they do complement each other quite nicely.
Of course, you then make your way into the pre-show area. It's a bags-on attraction. You take them with them throughout the experience. And of course, yeah, you enter into the first pre-show. The same room before, where you'd actually meet Darren for the first time, the Pepper's Ghost screen effect. And this is when we realised that actually quite a lot of thought and time and money has gone into this project. There was a lot going on props-wise in there.
Yeah, there's like a TV in the top corner that's got like train times and then the destinations that it's going to, and it's kept flickering, which I quite liked.
Yeah, it had the sound effects, like an old kind of ticker board, which was really cool.
That.
Along with that as well, you had like these windows round the side, and as the pre-show started, these were all lit up, and as I was explaining in the moment, they all turned off. So we met our first character on there who told us a lot about the backstory, who was actually a Pepper's Ghost effect in front of us, not a real live actor. And this character kind of told us what we were expecting, didn't he, ahead?
He did, so he kind of kept the story going, which was great to see. There was a lot of backstory, so you've got to make sure you're listening on this one.
Yeah, and the main base of the backstory, there's a lot of dialogue and a lot to understand with this one, but Charlotte might add some more in a second. I'll get my initial thoughts on the story and what's said in there. So basically, he's telling you how you've got this group of people called the Believers, and they believe in kind of the afterlife and that there's things that happen to you after you die. Yeah, it's quite dark. And then, yeah, so basically he's explaining that this group of people called the Believers go to this place, they get off the train, the last train at Chapel Street Station, and then they perform like a seance there on a regular basis, basically.
Yeah, it's like they're going to like some sort of like coffin or something and doing like a ritual, basically.
Yeah, so we don't see this here, he's just telling you about it, and on the screen you then actually see a little bit of a visual in front of you as part of the Pepper's Ghost of them doing this kind of seance, this ritual, which is really cool. Now, following on from that point, he then says, you know, are you too scared to leave, to be here, or do you want to leave? I think you should stay and get the last train, is what he basically says
so
there.
they say that, and then all the shutters shut on the windows. It's like, you've got to take the train.
Yeah, so there's a bit of a jump scare in there. The shutters all go down. Straight away, if we're comparing it to Darren, the pre-show has a lot more atmosphere and a lot more build-up in there, I thought.
Yeah, I like the pre-show. There's a lot going on. It's like, it's gathering the story, which is good to see.
Lots of great sound effects. You then make your way out of that first room after being in there a couple of minutes, and in up the steps into the waiting area. Now, this scene is actually only used if there's a delay with the ride system, which I do like how they've built that into there. Our first couple of rides on it, we didn't see this. On the third ride, we did, so they've built that into it. And this is a small little scene with some props on the right, and actually these props, which is quite cool, it's like a lost property area, and Charlotte spotted something there, didn't you?
There's one of the VR headsets on one of the shelves. I was like, oh, it's a VR headset.
Oh, we did like that little throwback to the old attraction. And then, yeah, in there as well, there was an actual live actor who was giving us a little bit of a backstory, again, building on that, about the last train. That's the thing with this, it's all about the last train of the night. There was a screen with a weather report going on there too.
Yeah, it was like a weather report, and then it went to like breaking news in there as well.
Yeah, so a little bit of filler, but better than just standing there in silence.
Exactly, you don't just want to be stood there, you want something going on.
So you might not always get that, but it is there just in case the ride system isn't ready. You then make your way into the large warehouse room, the station itself. Before, it was a Victorian suspended train carriage. We thought it may still look like that. It's completely different. They spent a lot of money on this.
Yeah, I'm glad that they have changed it, because I don't think the Victorian sort of style train would have fit in, so I'm glad that they have changed it.
It's now the exterior of an actual train. It looks more like a tube train on the outside now. Before, part of the illusion was a Victorian train carriage on the outside, and then on the inside it was like a London Underground train. Now it looks like one on the outside. It's blue and white and black, and it's platform number 13, I think it said on there, not platform 15. There's references to that in there, but yeah, platform 13. And of course you see the train there. It's not suspended from the ceiling with all chains and things anymore. You can clearly see it's parked up in the station. Two doors, two ways onto the train. You make your way on there, and I think it's really nice to head onto this train and straight away not be greeted by all of the VR headsets on the seats.
I know, you just get on there and all you'd see is like bags with like headsets in, so I'm glad that they aren't on there anymore.
You go in and the train looks like it did before, but a lot more run down, a lot more weathered. They put like all black and brown paint in there, a lot darker. Now, of course, you're greeted then by the 2 train guards. One of them's very, very friendly on there, isn't she?
Is.
She's coming along and she's like, oh, tickets please, tickets please. And then the other conductor, he's not as nice. And he's coming down and he's kind of saying, yeah, no tickets, you don't need tickets.
I thought they was really good in there.
Yeah, and these are the 2 kind of actors that take you throughout. Also wanted to note at this point, the actors are mic'd up throughout the attraction, which is great. It means you can hear them throughout the speaker system in the train and throughout the other scenes that we'll talk about too. So I do like that. Instead of them having to shout really loud, the mic'd up, which is fantastic.
It helps save their voice, and it means that everyone will be able to hear them as well.
Now, basically, the really friendly lady conductor on there, once the doors shut and the train starts moving, you still get that effect of the train actually moving. She tells you, you know, oh, we're going to stop at Chapel Street Station. Of course, what we've already heard about in the pre-show, and that Chapel Street is the place where the believers got off the train, the last train of the night, and did this kind of ritual, this seance there. And the other conductor then, he turns around, he's then turns into the kind of the nice one, like, we can't stop here, we can't stop the train, but we do stop the train, and then yeah, we actually get off at that point. This is the point where I wanted to mention, there's no real kind of major effects in that first scene. You do feel the train moving, there's some nice bits of lighting. I would have really liked to have seen screens behind the train carriage windows, that would have added to it.
At least then you could have actually seen the train moving if there were screens behind there.
We understand the logistics though, that the screens would have been attached to the back and the ride system, that they need to have been further back for the realism, so I can understand why they didn't do that, but still, it was really good. This point you realise as well, it's very story based, it's very theatrical, it's very like London West End theatre style, you know, stuff's going on around you, which I like. At this point, no massive jump scares, was there?
No, there wasn't at this point.
We then got off the train, nothing's really changed in there, in that room. Of course, you come off into the station itself, and then you go through the double doors, and you're actually led down by both of them actors that were on the train, so they take you through the experience. And then we made it into the chapel area itself, very atmospheric. Before, this was the scene where originally in the version of the attraction from 2016, a train carriage came towards you. From Rise of the Demon, that changed, that was broken, and yeah, it was all very different. Now in there, it's completely different, it's unrecognisable.
Yeah, they've done a really good job. It's like on the left hand side, it's like all skulls embedded onto the wall, which is a really good effect. I really like that.
Yeah, along with that as well, you've got the actor that was really nice on the train, kind of telling you like, oh, we shouldn't really be here, but here's a bit of backstory, telling you about the believers again, and everything that was going on with that seance in that location. She's standing right next door to a massive crypt which is there in front of her, and we're thinking, oh, she's just telling us about this, you know, she's not really that evil, she wanted to bring us here and show us it. However, yeah, as we found out, it was a little bit more than that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it all turns, it's like the audio changes, the statues light up, the crypt opens, and she's sort of taken over by this monster.
Yeah, she is, and the monster itself actually comes across, and the best effect in the ride, a real practical prop. It's a pulley rope system in the ceiling, and this large kind of demon, I forgot what you call it now, like an angel, death angel,
yeah,
or something like that,
so.
Comes flying over you, which is really cool, isn't it?
Fantastic effect that was.
There's some really nice chandeliers in there that all light up as well, all the skulls light up, the smoke effects, and then also there's 2 kind of wraith characters that come out towards you and scare you as well in there.
It really got me on the last go.
Yeah, because there was just like a few of us in there, and if there's less of you in there, the better really for that. Yeah, she's kind of taken over, so's the other conductor, they're kind of coming at you, and it's very immersive. That scene is my favourite part of the ride.
Yeah, I think it's really good. It's really atmospheric in there with like the lighting and the actors and everything that's going on.
So after that point, of course, then your train conductors are trying to get you out of that chapel area very quickly before kind of the seance takes hold, so to speak. You push through the doors, and then of course you're greeted with the train station again at Chapel Street. Back onto the train, and yeah, at this point it's then sit down, back on the train. The conductors are on there, the doors are closed, and you kind of think, oh, okay, we're safe now. We've made it away from Chapel Street and the area where the seance is taking place. We've got the conductors, granted they're being a little bit creepy still, but I think we're going to be all right. I think we're going to get out of here. And then all of a sudden, it starts to go very dark. It gets really tense. The ride system itself, the actual train's shaking around a little bit, similar to like how it used to in Derren with the VR. However, now you really feel it moving more, I think, because you've not got the headset.
Yeah, you can do. They're sort of taken over, then it goes dark, the doors at either side open, and these nun-type characters come out.
Faceless nuns, I believe they're called, from what I've speaking to a few of the creatives tonight. And yeah, what they've actually done at either side of the train, like I say, full on spoilers here for you. They've blocked in 2 of the ends, so you can't see these 2 characters. And then the doors open, it's pitch black. They come out, there's a UV light effect, and there's writing all over. Think like the pre-show of the Curse at Alton Manor at Alton Towers. All UV ultraviolet effects in there, which is very cool. There's smoke, there's lots of lighting going on, and it's all live action in front of you, not just watching it on a headset. It's all live action in front of you. They come really close, they're stomping all the way up and down, and it was really atmospheric.
I thought that was really good. Like the first time, I just was not expecting that at all. I was scared. There was going up and down the train, there was like red lighting. Brilliant.
Clearly we didn't get out of Chapel Street quick enough there, did we? But I thought that was great. At that point as well, the actual conductors, they're going crazy in there too. It's all very full on. And then all of a sudden it goes dark. The nun type characters have gone away, obviously back hidden away behind the walls. And then you've got the 2 conductors that are there just in front of you on the train, and kind of, yeah, here we are, we've made it back. It also plays a really funny announcement, you know, the ones that you get actually on the real trains out there, like the see it, say it, sorted ones. You see something that doesn't look right, they have one of those, which I think is a nice little touch.
Then you get a little jazzy song at the end, and then you get off.
Yeah, and then of course the experience continues when you get off the ride system itself. You make your way out, you get another view looking at the station, platform 13 I think it was, and then yeah, it's making your way down into the Fake Shop finale, which was an addition for Darren Brown's Ghost Train Rise of the Demon. It wasn't in the original ride, it was in the upgrade from 17, and yeah, that's very similar effect in there. All the pipe work all kind of starts falling. You've got a lady who's like, yeah, your photos are going to come on, very kind of similar to how it was before, and then of course it all goes wrong. The pipes are falling, there's all steam, water effects, all the posters start rattling on the walls, that kind of thing. It goes dark, and then yeah, that member of staff who stopped you saying, oh, your photos will be ready, like a normal Thorpe Park member of staff, does the scare in front of you, don't they, there?
I think the only issue I have there is I wish it was one of the nuns and not just like a member of staff dressed up in a Thorpe Park uniform.
Definitely, I think one of the nuns that's on the train should have been there. That's what I was expecting, to be honest, after the build-up. So yeah, I thought the ending could have been a little bit better there and actually had one of the faceless nuns, as they're called, there. However, overall, you can tell they spent a lot more money on this than I was expecting. We're always going sceptical because you don't know, especially with this project, a ride that has had such a rough history, hasn't it? I've been very vocal about my opinions on that ride in the past. However, I'm happy to say that I feel like this is the best iteration of that attraction since it opened back in 2016. Finally, they've utilised the ride system a lot more. There's more actors in there, there's more effects going on. Yes, there was things that they could have done better, like some screens on the trains. However, I've got to say, I'm really impressed with what we've seen on there.
I really enjoyed that. I'm hoping that this is going to be a lot more reliable for them, and I think that the general public will really enjoy it.
That's the thing, reliability was the main issue with Darren Brown's Ghost Train, and I'm so pleased that hopefully now that issue is going to be resolved. You've still got quite a complex ride system in there, but you've not got the added complexity of VR, so I'm hoping now it'll be better. The actors doing a good job, they're all mic'd up.
It was fantastic.
But also the thought about that, and they've not packed it too full of actors that it's going to be unviable to kind of operate for a long period of time. You know, they've got just the right amount in there.
If you've got a lot of actors in there, it's quite hard to maintain with breaks. You've got to have people to come in. Having a small amount of actors in there really helps.
Yeah, I think so, and I liked how it was the same too that actually carried you through the experience.
It made it.
Yeah, it does run 2 trains, so I'd imagine there's 2 sets of actors on there. But still, it was really good. If I was going to give it a rating out of 10, I would give it a solid 8 out of 10 from me.
I think I'd give it an 8
yeah?
as well.
I think that's a really fair review, and of course, we've come to the press night tonight. You'll always get an honest, constructive opinion from us on this channel. That's what we're all about. Just because it's a press night doesn't mean, you know, we come off and be like, oh my God, you know, we always will be very honest on this channel, whether it's a press night or not. We'll always will be, and I hope you appreciate that. And I tell you what, I do feel like Thorpe Park have done a good job. Well done to all the cast on there.
Well done.
We did it 3 times, and even though on a couple of runs there was only a few of us, the actors were still giving it 110%, which is fantastic.
We're still getting the same experience as if it was a full train, which is great.
Yeah, definitely. But overall, it's very immersive, it's very theatrical, it's very story based. It might not be for everyone. I do think some of the general public coming on there won't really understand much, but you've really got to listen to the dialogue on there now.
Some people might lose track of the story because it is quite story based.
Yeah, there's a lot to think about, but I do like story driven attractions. Again, I like how they didn't go off to an IP, and it's like with the Curse at Alton Manor at Alton Towers this year. It's something that should last for a long period of time now. It's not got IP, it's not got Darren's name attached to it anymore. It's a strong independent attraction, it's unique, and it's also one of the longest theme park rides, probably not just in the UK, but in the world. I think I can only think of one ride experience that's probably longer than that, and that's Rise of the Resistance at the Disney
Yeah,
parks.
because that is quite long, isn't it?
Yeah, that's about a 25-minute experience. This is 15 to 20 minutes.
It's
Multiple rooms, ride system, effects, great audio, very atmospheric. In terms of the scare level, I'd say that it's less scary now than when it was Darren Brown.
I used to get terrified in that one, so this one's not too bad. I
Yeah,
don't think.
and I think that reflects in why they brought the height restriction down a little bit as well. But still, it's not for the faint-hearted. I think they wanted it to appeal to more people. I wouldn't say it's a family attraction by all means, but I don't think it's quite as scary and as intense as it was, and I think that's probably what they were going for. We enjoyed it, we had good fun, and we had a good few rides on it. There's lots of Easter eggs throughout to former attractions
so
and
many.
areas, and I think that makes it quite re-rideable as well.
Yeah, because you can keep looking at stuff every time you go on it.
Finally, I feel like this could be closure for that attraction, in a good way, not as in it's going to close. Closure was in for many years now. We've spoke about it on this channel, lots of people have. How much money has been ploughed into that?
A lot.
It's one of Merlin's most expensive ever investments into a park, and finally now I feel like, you know what, they've kind of got the money's worth out of that now, which
Yeah,
is good.
I'd say so.
There's more they could have done in there, and of course I think if they knew they were going to have all the issues they have over the years, they would never have even built that attraction and that ride system, but they did, and finally it's worthy now of it being a good solid dark ride at Thorpe Park. It's something unique, and I hope that it has a few successful years here
I
at
think it's
Thorpe.
one of them where this is something that I'd make sure I ride every time that I visit Thorpe Park.
I agree, and I think as well you're going to get different experiences from different actors as well.
Exactly, and also you're going to see different experiences from the public every time you ride it.
100%, but there we go, nice in-depth review. We've been going for about 17 minutes there, but there's so much to talk about. We're just going to have a look over in the shop now, get a couple more exterior shots, and then we'll wrap up tonight's vlog. And another look here at the exterior for Ghost Train. The sign also lights up as well, which will be good, of course, for Fright Nights. And yeah, you see what I mean about the exterior. We were unsure at first how it was going to work with the more modern boards and then yeah, the older Victorian style, but actually I think it looks quite good now. At first, when they painted all this white, it looks very modern. I thought, oh, how's it going to look? However, yeah, it's got the more weathered look on there now, which is great. Yeah, I think it looks really good. Let's go and have a look inside the shop. Of course, we've got a bit of live music for tonight as well, which is nice. Yeah, there's the sign lit up. So there's a look at the Last Call Cafe. So yeah, this whole building was a shop originally for Darren Brown. And then yeah, now you've got the cafe on that side and a smaller shop over here. However, here's a look at the merch. Ghost Train hoodie just there. So you've got the more cartoony voodoo style, I would call this. I can see now why they've got this on there, because when we spoke about the UV kind of lighting up the train, then yeah, that's the kind of branding that there was in there. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a massive fan of it, but I can understand it.
Yeah. At first, when we looked at this, we were like, what? It doesn't make sense. But now we know, now we've been on the attraction. There's the prices. So your hoodie's £50, quite expensive. T-shirt 22, and then your other price at the top there. Believe us, yeah, that's the group of people that are going there to Chapel Street and kind of doing that seance, that ritual down there.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of the mugs with the cork bottom.
There's a few of those around here now. I'm not a big fan of those. Pin badges just down there too, if you like your pins. Lanyards, and then you've got the mugs over here.
These are quite nice, because they're subtle, aren't they?
Yeah, we mentioned about the train design inside now. It's not that Victorian carriage, it's all kind of blue and white, this kind of look with that going on. Thorpe Junction, so many references inside, which is really nice to see. And yeah, when we were talking about the little pre-show that you don't always get, it all depends on the ride system itself. This is the kind of video they're playing in there, Thorpe Today, like a weather report, lots of news reports and that sort of thing. How haunted, most haunted knockoff, that one, I love that. That's really cool. Lots of really nice touches. Yeah, you got some Fright Nights merch in here. I guess it all comes around to horror, doesn't it? And some Haribos. And one more look at the Last Call Cafe, and we notice this over here, white sugar, and over here, Darren Brown sugar. How funny is that? There you go, what a nice little touch. Well, there we go, that brings us to the end of our vlog here from Thorpe Park, and of course the opening of Ghost Train. It's now open here at the park. Let us know if you're coming down here to experience it, and of course we'd also love to know your thoughts, so let us know down below in the video comments.
I really enjoyed it. I think they've done a really good job with it. The actors was just fantastic on that.
Yeah, definitely. I look forward to riding it again, and like Charlotte said earlier on, I feel like now we'll make the effort to do it a lot more when we come here to the
We'll
park.
ride it it every time that we come.
Yeah, definitely, which is fantastic. I didn't say the same about Darren
No,
Brown.
definitely not.
You know, so I'm really pleased with what they've done to it. And again, just want to say thank you to
Thank
Thorpe
you so
Park
much.
for inviting us down here tonight. And yeah, I really hope this attraction is one that's going to last for many years now here at the park.
I really hope so. I feel like this is the closure on Darren Brown.
Yeah, definitely. As much as I would have much preferred still a tracked dart ride in there initially, they put in what they did, and finally now it's found its feet. The actors did a great job, and it's really immersive. Great storytelling, and yeah, if you like a theatrical experience,
You'll really enjoy it.
get yourself on Ghost Train here at Thorpe Park. Lots more content coming up here on Theme Park Worldwide. We've got a full vlog coming from the park. Had a great day getting on lots of different rides, so that'll be coming up. And also as well, of course, Nemesis Subterra at Alton Towers. Oh, it's going to be opening, and we're going to be covering that from the opening day. Year of the Dart Rides this year here in the UK, which is fantastic. But from Thorpe Park and the Ghost Train events, that leaves us with one final thing to say. Get out there and keep on riding. See you in the next vlog.